10-second diesel truck.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Garage. Hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. So last night I worked on the truck a little bit. I put the driver's seat back in it. I put our wiring harness back in. It's still kind of a mess. I'm trying to figure it out. But I also had a gauge cluster in there, which I had kind of sitting here like that. So I was, had the gauges in, had the seat in. I was trying to figure out, where I wanted to put them, what I wanted to do. What I was thinking was maybe we do some sort of a custom aluminum dash and all this. But then I got thinking, you know what? We want to get the truck done. We want to get it back to the track. All that kind of stuff. When the torque converter comes back, I want to have minimal stuff to do. We do still have to put the cage in. I have to call a couple places on Monday to see about that. But other than that, we could still put the truck back together and take it to the track and, see if we get kicked out, see what happens in the meantime. But I would just like to have the truck available. Not that we're going to be really running around it or anything, but just have it running and ready to go. So when we get everything dialed in, we can take it to the track, do the cage, whatever that timeline looks like. I just want it done. And then we can start picking apart little things, little jobs here and there that we can do, and then have the truck back together so we can actually use it. So I decided against that. I'll tell you in a minute what we're going to do. But I also depinned this harness to any wires that weren't connected anymore. The ones that run under the firewall that aren't connected anymore, I just put some heat shrink on there. I also got the seat back out tonight. So, what are we doing for a dash setup? Well, that's where this guy comes in right here. As you can see, I have the factory dash back in the truck. We're going to use this over. Obviously, we're not going to need the radio area, the heater control area. So what I'm thinking is we'll just whack it right here. I think that would be a good area. Just kind of right down that little trim line and back. We'll get rid of the HVAC box in there. All the kind of stuff we don't need. There is this fastener down here, so I might leave that. I don't know what it's going to look like right yet. All I know is we're going to have from this part of the dash over. Now, somebody had made a comment saying, hey, why don't you wait to do the dash stuff until you have the cage in, which thought-wise makes sense. Time-wise, I'd rather have this ready to go. When we put the cage in, this thing's going to be small enough to manhandle, and we can kind of adjust it or cut out whatever we need, or don't need, I should say, in order to fit the cage. And probably what we'll do is we'll get this all installed, and when we go to do the cage, just pull it out completely and then modify it to fit. So, that all being said, I did weigh this dash before we started anything tonight. Let me get my phone. And 42.2 pounds is what this dash weighs in its current form. So we'll whack it, we'll see. I mean, we'll lose a few pounds for sure. There is this steel cross member in there, so we'll lose that weight, but it's just all stuff that is useless weight. We have no need for it. We have no HVAC, no radio, none of that bullshit. But we need a place to put our gauges, key, our hood latch. It's good to be able to open a hood. Parking brake latch, because I'm keeping the parking brake in the truck for the simple fact that it seems like this thing doesn't have a transmission in it very often lately. So parking brake's probably a good idea, don't you think? So that's the game plan. Let's get to cutting this fucker up. So the dash is in two pieces now. I stripped the HVAC stuff out of the back, took the tweeter out of this side, all that kind of happy shit. Well, I don't know if it's a tweeter, might just be a regular speaker. Yeah, this guy. That magnet's probably pretty heavy. anyhow, so I was looking at the back of it, and I was looking at this big tube here, and I said, you know, that's to the other side of where I want to cut it. You know, maybe I'll just get it down into one smaller piece, make it more manageable. So cut that, cut a couple other little metal pieces that were connecting everything, and there you go. Let's mock it up and just see what it looks like. I gotta drop the steering wheel down. All right, yeah, that's different. Yeah, not bad at all. It definitely sits nice, and I don't know if it's because of this piece here I left, or if it's just sitting on there. You know what? There's 2 bolts under there. Oh, that's right. There's 2 bolts under there that hold it. I can get rid of this piece. Let me just make sure I still got the bolts. Oh, I forgot all about those 2 bolts. Yes. Oh, this thing's sweet. I'm not going to have to make any brackets or anything. Oh, this is fucking awesome. All right, we'll pull it back out. I'll check to make sure I got them bolts. We'll pull it back out, and we'll clean this this edge up and make us nicey nice. And yeah. Yeah, I think we'll go with the original plan right there and go from there. But yeah, sweet. Them 2 bolts should hold the whole fucking thing. And now I present to you the 4th Gen Cummins Rally Edition. So yeah, the dash turned out very well. I'm very happy with that. I forgot about the 2 bolts on that crossbar there that come up from the bottom and bolt, you know, through the brake mount. I forgot all about those, but yeah, that made everything just sturdy. I mean, this thing isn't going nowhere, which is sweet. I was thinking we were going to have to build a bracket or something, but we're not going to have to do that. Eventually, maybe we'll flush this off with like some aluminum or something, and maybe on the dash there, because I can see the downpipe through that hole, which is probably not good. But anyhow, I am very happy with how this turned out. It was much simpler than I had anticipated. Like I said, thought I'd have to be building brackets, all this kind of bullshit, but no, just bolts up. Got the 2 bolts in there, the 3 bolts over here on the side, and I just threw the gauges and all in so we get kind of a gist of what it would look like, which to me doesn't look too bad at all. I mean, I'm very happy with how this turned out. So we eliminated all this bullshit from the truck. I think we weighed it earlier. It was 44 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that. We'll just say 45. I weighed it before I put it back in the truck, and it weighed about, what was it? Hold on. 12.8. It weighed 12.8 pounds when we put it back in, which, you know, that's, say, 13 pounds from 45. We saved 30 pounds on the truck, and it doesn't look too shabby. It doesn't really look half-assed. I think it looks half decent. Like I said, I'm very happy with how it turned out. I think it looks cool. I think people will look in the truck and, what the, you know, because still from the outside it'll be unassuming. Eventually, obviously, we'll have the bars coming down the back, but the plan is, other than the bars, for it to just look normal. Which, if we went with a funny car style cage, you know, like around the head and all that, we wouldn't have to put the rear bars in. But I think they're an eventuality for if you ever get faster. So it's kind of like we should do that now. I've been debating that. Let me know what you guys think. Do the funny car cage and keep it kind of sleeperish, or just have the bars coming out the back, because that looks cool too. Well, anyway, that's enough a little rambling here. Let me know what you guys think about the half dash mod we did, or third dash mod, or whatever you want to call it. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I'm thrilled. I think it looks great. But thanks for watching the video. Tune in next time. I'll catch you on the next one. Subscribe, like the video, and get out in your garage. Get the wrenching on your truck.